Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the VFL News Podcast. I'm joined again by Aaron himself and Mr. Dagnaldino. How you boys doing?
I'm sleepy, but I'm here.
Yeah, pretty much same.
It's 4 o'clock in the
I had a
afternoon.
nap
Why are you tired?
because I woke up 5 minutes ago. I had a nap. I woke up. My body clock told me that I had the podcast to do because I woke up at 3:58 p.m. So, be happy.
I woke up about half an hour ago.
I mean, I woke up 45 minutes ago, but I'm awake.
Wow, you know that's really interesting.
It's just gonna be one of those days, isn't it?
Yep.
All right, fair enough. I guess let's dive right into it. We'll go over all the leagues, just run down them real fast, and then we'll get to some major talking points with you boys here in a second. Starting with the Premier League, Rochdale maintained their title over Middlesbrough, 49 points to 48 points. Even though they took a 2-1 loss to Manchester City, they managed to bag a 2-1 win over Liverpool and a 4-2 win over Manchester United, which could come into play and could be interesting come this weekend in the Champions League. Over to France, Monaco hangs on goal differential as they take a plus 67 to plus 54 goal differential over Metz, despite a 1-1 draw with Bordeaux in the final match. The both of them finishing on 53 points. I know we had said maybe Monaco to dip at the end of the season and Metz to take advantage, but that did not happen. Serie A, due to Spal being complete idiots, Fiorentina handed the title, and they successfully defend that. In Italy, over to Germany in the Bundesliga, Bayer Leverkusen, 11 points clear of Schalke, who is on 48 points. Leverkusen winning the German Bundesliga. And in Spain, La Liga, Athletic Bilbao scraping through, level on 52 points with Atletico Madrid, but going and winning the title on goal differential, plus 65 to plus 48. I think Spain was an interesting one this weekend. You really on the edge of your seat. You didn't know what was going to happen.
Let's just all laugh at Barcelona for being absolutely whack.
Yeah, they're battle hard, to be fair. I think they were playing the last 2 weeks with like 5 people.
Yeah, what a surprise. When you
Yeah,
sign
that's no
absolute
surprise.
whoppers and you lose a game, then you show up with 5. Kind of predicted that one. I think me and you predicted that one before the fucking season started. Shout out to Major. You're an idiot.
Was he actually the manager, or was it Dino the manager?
Oh, bro.
His Major getting all the stick, and Dino's just sat there as the manager.
It was one of those proxy things. Like Dino had like the M, but they were all thingy major signings. They all were. You reckon Dino's got the connections to talk to people like Polgar and these French 11s people? Come on now. Yeah. Dino's just a simple man that runs down the fucking wing into straight lines and all that kind of shit. He doesn't know the correct people. That's a major team, and that's a major bottle as far as I'm concerned, in fucking both senses of the word. So there you go.
Well, I know in last week's podcast, Dags, you had said that Rochdale were going to drop points. And
well, this is the thing, you see, yeah? Like, they would have beat Man City if they didn't rile Joe on up, because everyone knows City were taking the piss all season, yeah? And then early hours in some fucking meat stream or whatever it was, their keeper, Rochdale's keeper, was in there calling City shit and all this, and Joe seen it, and he said, you know what, we'll turn up tomorrow and we'll slap you, we'll all play properly. And they turned up and slapped them 2-1. Gave Manchester United and Middlesbrough a chance, and they both fucking bottled. So Rochdale got lucky.
It's not it's not really a surprise or a shock in the Middlesbrough bottled, is it? I mean, it's just another. Like, we said this last week off stream. Everyone talks about their fucking 1976 Super Sunday, but it's just still another season where these 11-man people that when they come together and form a team don't win a VFL title. So we'll probably be reminded about the fucking 1962 Monday Night Football title that Bluefin has next week, probably.
Okay, though.
I mean, I guess we have to look at Rochdale in the Premier League now because, as I mentioned before, their potential run-in the Champions League is with Manchester United, assuming United go through against Milan and Rochdale do what they need to do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, is that 4-2 result going to be replicated over 2 legs, or do we see maybe something different?
I mean, you can never really tell because it's a CL and people get way more nervous when they, in a sprint compared to a marathon, because the Premier League is. It's a 4-week marathon, whereas the CL, you have to perform on the day. But then again, since we're now on the 2-leg system this season, you never know. But then you also have to filter in the facts for United. How do United feel? Are United really going to give it a go, or are they dejected and kind of deflated about losing the league, so they don't really care? I already know United is stepping down in the golden window, so because he's stepping, does that mean that they're going to half-arse it in the CL? Does that mean they're going to produce a full team and try and go for the CL again? Because, they can, because they did it last season.
That's the type of game where 9 times... Well, if they played each other 10 times, will Rochdale win 10 times? They're not going to win 10 times. I think it's 50-50. It really is on the day. Who turns up on the day? That's the type of game it'll be.
No doubt. And then, you look at it, on cup competitions and days when Rochdale have to perform, where it's not a marathon and it is a sprint, and they have, those important games. Look at the FA Cup. They lost against Southend, for Christ's sake, who finished, mid-table in League One. So, anything can happen. It really does depend.
Yeah.
Over to France, we had said almost the same thing about Monaco, that they would drop points, in which they did, but they had enough cushion beforehand to be able to drop
another
those 2
little
points against
situation
Bordeaux.
happened there, didn't it? There was another
because again, wow, it's almost like all the French people are stupid. Oh, wait, yes, they are. Literally, because of what Bordeaux did, there is no VFL France at the next World Cup. I already told Arujo that. That's the only thing these French people care about, man. The only thing the French people care about is the World Cup. So, suspending them from playing VFL League games is doesn't affect them anyway. So for Dan, since he's sat there in the corner of his room not knowing what the fuck we're talking about. So Bordeaux last season did a whoops, which we put down to it being a whoops, where in a title deciding game or title deciding game day, they played a guy that wasn't contracted to their team. And we put it down to them being French, them not being able to read English or whatever. So we're like, okay, then we just have to default Bordeaux both games. And then that swung the title to Lyon. And then the same exact shit from the same exact manager happened on the Friday. So then we had to reschedule the games for Bordeaux because we weren't having the title swing again. We had to reschedule the games for Saturday. So Bordeaux had 4 games on Saturday, and then it all ended up, fixing that way. But the fact of the matter is that we shouldn't have to, for 2 seasons in a row, hold a guy's hand who's in his fucking 20s and tell him, listen here, you stupid idiot, stop playing people that aren't on your roster. It's not difficult and it's not hard to comprehend. So since he did it this season, and since he did it last season, and since the keeper that I don't know what his name is, that French keeper did it for Mark, Dev and Roma, it's like, right, then fine. You know, this is the 3rd time it's happened now. France will not be at the final World Cup on VFL. There's no point. You guys only care about playing in the World Cup. You openly say that you you think you take VFL as a joke, which is ironic because you don't win ever on here. So that's fine. And they won't listen to this, so I can trash them as much as I like. Yeah. The 11's French scene are a joke. It's just they have the ego of someone like Dylan, yet they can't actually win jack shit on here. Their point would be valid of them taking it as a big piss take and a joke if they're winning a title, because you care about finishing 3rd or 2nd every couple of seasons. So we'll take that away from you. If that's what you care about, then we'll take that away from you. We'll pull France out and we'll put in a nation that actually isn't, filled with spastics and filled with arrogant arseholes, and will actually show up and do everything properly. So that's just the way that we're going with it. But yeah, Monaco, they won that. Good for them. Good for them.
I mean, on the same note, do we talk about Serie A, or we basically just say Fiorentina wins this?
Well, again, I think Fiorentina was just Fiorentina was so relaxed over it, whether they're going to win or lose.
On the same note, do we talk about Serie A, or we basically just say Fiorentina wins this?
At the end of the day, it's just it's less of an extent to Bordeaux, because you could say Bordeaux are just arrogant and stupid in that. So and those games got replayed, with the proper squads, and we had to baby them through those 2 games. So, there's no contestation about the French league result. because the games got played and everything got done fine the day after. With Serie A, it's just a case of Spal thinking they could get away with cheating, and then having the thing with Spal is so we first knew that someone illegal was playing for their team because someone snitched on them. We got given all the proof, and we said to the manager, nothing's going to happen if you tell us now who knew and how long you knew, and it'll just be game bans. So the manager sent us a screenshot of their group chat and was like, oh, okay, did anyone know about this? And everyone was like, no, except for this one guy. And this one guy was like, yeah, I knew, fucking ban me, I don't care. Which, spoiler, he did care very much after about fucking 20 minutes. He very much did care. So it's like they all maintained this story that only one of them knew. And then about 2.5 weeks later, one of the admins starts looking through the archives because, again, someone else snitched on them and was like, look at the history around this point. We saw that 90%, well, not 90%, that's a bit an exaggeration, but 60% of that Spal team, including people who in the chat were like, no, I didn't know fucking Dancing Unicorn 7 was the banned player. We saw that the banned player had teamed with 60% of the Spal team about a year ago, maybe 8-9 months ago. So because you've now lied to us and try to hide it, we are now going to punish you. And the punishment is not game suspension. It's docking you points so that you finish fucking 11th. That's how punishments work, because that made them care. The manager was kind of cool about it. I think the manager kind of expected it. But then you got these 2 or 3 gimps on Spal that are never going to win anything ever again on VFL, so they kick off. It's like, well, it's your own fault. Blame your teammates for thinking they get away with it. So then in the end, Fiorentina win the league. That's fair enough. Fiorentina broke no rules. Fiorentina didn't do anything wrong. No, neither did any of the other 18 teams. 19 teams that were clean. So why should they be punished for games where we know this account played? So we just dock them points for every game where the account played.
It's stupid, really, isn't it? Because the player involved, did he really make that much difference to them? There's probably no need to play him.
I have no idea if he was some sort of goal-scoring messiah, but at the end of the day, it's fucked it for themselves, isn't it? This is everyone is a fucking criminal mastermind until they get caught. No one ever thinks they're going to get caught. I don't know how many more situations like this we have to go through until we kind of get home the message that whether it's immediately or a week or 2 weeks after, you're always going to get caught being dirty. Happened with fucking Yes Dave. Happened with Spal. It's just we know. Happened with Mark Dev. We have fucking radar for this shit that we just know when people are being nonsense. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an unfortunate situation. I mean, we saw it.
Yeah, it was Butch. That was the same. It was the same team, and said that's what I'm saying back in the League One point. That Stade Rennais team is essentially a combination of last season's Stade Rennais team and last season's Bordeaux team. So it's 2 French teams merged together. But the guy who's holding the armband, who's holding the M, who's holding management, is the same guy who was holding management at Stade Rennais. That's why he has got no fucking, no, we have no sympathy for him, and that's why they're all now banned from representing France. It's fuck the lot of you. He's stupid. It's not even that. It's just with the French one, they're arrogant. The French one, they're oh, we'll just do it anyway. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean,
because this time it was less serious. Because last season they played someone that was on anotother team. This season they played someone that they just didn't sign. They just told some random French guy hop in and play for us. And it's if they told any admin, whether it's 5 minutes before kickoff or 10 minutes before kickoff, because they're French, we would just kind of allow it just to avoid any trouble. It's if they came to us and said, add this guy to the roster, we would have done it. But there you go. Arrogant, ignorant. So that's where we are. I'm still amazed Dortmund was so bad.
I guess we'll move on.
I really am.
All of that.
Yeah, I thought Dortmund would do better.
Germany was pretty straightforward. Leverkusen needed 1 point against Ingolstadt to secure the title. And
again, it's a season where just people have their eyes on the next season. Schalke were always loyalty switching.
I think I was surprised.
So I don't think they really cared. They're going to Madrid now, so it's just they're fine. They're happy either way. It's like, I mean, you could say the same for like the playoffs and the championship this coming weekend. It's like, for example, Wimbledon. Wimbledon are happy if they win it all because they go up to the Premier and win a trophy, but they're not asked if they lose because they do a loyalty switch as well. So they're leaving Wimbledon regardless. Well, they're leaving the championship regardless, should I say. So it doesn't really matter too much to them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Germany as a whole was fairly interesting this season because you saw a lot of. I think this Leverkusen team, they looked very good on paper, but I had a couple questions on how it would all gel together because they did bring in a couple players that aren't typically part of that group. But no, I mean, fair play to them. They absolutely blew the Bundesliga out of the water.
They should do.
And I'm sure, even though they bottled Champions League, I'm sure they'll have a fairly good Europa League campaign. But yeah, let's head over to Spain. Bilbao barely winning the title over there, hanging on against Atletico Madrid. With a 17-goal differential, allowing them the difference between the two sides. I mean, we mentioned how Barcelona should have completely ran this league, and then they just screwed it all up in the end. But fair play to Bilbao for taking advantage of that. I know last week we talked Champions League, and we actually have some fairly big names in the Europa League this time around. It could be an interesting campaign going through
no, they'll turn up with
the
all
lower
6
competition
players.
of Europe.
Well, this is the thing, you see, Rochdale, apparently Rochdale was saying if Barcelona can win it and get Champions League, then Rochdale might switch across to Barca, but they don't want to switch unless it's Champions League. So fuck knows what's going on there.
Everyone wants to go to Spain because it's massively shite, can confirm.
It's not been that bad this season. It's still shit, but it's been better than the usual shit.
Mate, name me any other top tier where fucking the league winning team has won about fucking 7 games above 8-0.
Well, yeah, because there's some stinkers in the league. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying there's better stinkers than the usual stinkers.
It had the highest default rate. It had the highest shitter rate. And DS10 won a league title, so it's just not good. Real Madrid should be ashamed of themselves for finishing 5th. You should be ashamed of yourselves for not fucking finishing with DS10. You shit scouse bastard.
My team was shit. You don't see my team? That's not my team that I wanted.
Absolutely.
My team this season, when I can get top and all, that's my team.
No, your team was superb and sublime.
Absolutely disgraceful. I had West. Fucking West.
A great player. Top player.
You don't know how many times he's cost me this season?
What, because he doesn't have a fucking A button, yeah?
No, I wish he had an A button. His fucking B button is stinking.
I know. His B button's stinking.
Every time he misses an open goal, I posted in like the VFL Skype chat, and I've posted about 7 times.
What does he pass with B or something?
So it's troubling worries for West. The only thing he actually can do is fucking strike the ball. It must be like a fucking running chicken nugget at this point if you can't fucking score goals anymore.
Literally a running chicken nugget. I couldn't have described it better. Do you know who has been banging goals? I think in all competitions, he's on about 34, 35. Big Shamey. Big Yardy.
I say no more about Spain.
He's absolutely flying.
I say absolutely. I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I'll be in trouble.
He's absolutely flying. Incredible. I think he wants to go back centre-back next season. I think it's Joe and Torp up top.
God, absolutely shambolic. Talk about the Europa League, Dan, before I fucking have an aneurysm over Spain, please.
Are we just throwing Scotland in the bin? Just leaving them?
Hey, they almost bottled that, you know.
Celtic?
Like Turk almost bottled that, you know. Like 4 games to go, like they were like second, and then they pulled it back in the final weekend. They finally fucking got their shit together. That was more tight than fucking Spain. Sorry, Dags.
Well, Bilbao nearly bottled that last game against Levante. They only won 1-0.
What was the gap between second and third in Spain, though? Like fucking 700 points.
Well, that's because they're shit.
Celtic by 5 points, 54-49.
We lost to Real Madrid. I don't know how we lost that.
It's pathetic.
Do you know what? They had. This is how.
Wow. Hashtag competitive.
Mate, in week three, it was 2 points between the whole top 6.
Between second and third was 9 points. 52
week
to
fucking
43.
4 at the end, it's now 9 points between second and third. Deal with it. Grow up.
Okay. Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, we can dive into Scotland. I mean, Celtic did look for a second.
I think it'll be the first. Well, not the first time. I think it'll be the second time.
They were really going to have some issues
in Scotland history.
Hearts always on the
that
tail.
Celtic won't
by
win
5 points.
the double. So there's some history for you, because the cup final in Scotland is tonight, and that's between Livingston and Rangers.
Do people in Scotland go in for Ballon d'Or? Because I'm looking at some of these stats here. They just get 0 votes. Okay, yeah, that's good then. That's fucking. I was gonna say.
Like, Scotland is kind of like in between what you would refer a higher tier and a lower tier. Like, if you win the SPL, like the trophy points is how we kind of dictate higher tier and lower tier. So you win a higher tier, it's 20 points. You win a lower tier, it's 10 points. You win Scotland, it's 15 points. It's like somewhere in between.
Okay.
So. Just keep doing like what it is. I think this season was the most interesting one to watch from an outsider's perspective, because it's
what does it take for
in terms of
Scotland?
Any team that takes Celtic from now on or ever is always like a team that is good. Like, is always that team that is too good to be playing in Scotland. And if they left Scotland and went into one of the other big 5, then they would start to struggle a bit more. Doesn't matter if you're Quality Isco's team last season, or if you're the best Celtic team VFL's ever seen, when Joe and that took them, and then Joe and that went into, back into like the big 5 leagues, and then it took them a couple of seasons to acclimatise. It's like, it's just if whoever takes Celtic every season runs it close like it was this season. Like I said, I never ever expected at 18 games out of 22 for there to be like, because I saw the table because I was looking over it, was like there were 4 teams literally fighting for the title with 4 games to go. So it's like, if it keeps being like that, then yeah, it would be good. I mean, look at the Cup, for example. It's like, that's what initiated the fucking Celtic meltdown, I think, is when they went out the Cup to Rangers. So it's like the fact that we're going to see a team in Scotland.
Oh, is there actual final tonight as well?
Yeah,
that's the actual final tonight.
Yeah.
Livingston
So
Rangers.
the fact that we're going to see someone in Scotland that isn't Celtic win silverware is interesting, and you don't really know who it's going to be, because again, it's another good match. I think it's like, in the end, it turned out being like 3rd versus 4th, or 2nd versus 3rd for like the Cup. So it's like, it's a tight one. It is a tight one.
I mean, Scotland's always hard to say. Whenever we post, top goals and all that, it's like, oh, don't forget about Scotland. It's because, obviously Scotland are on a different schedule than the rest of the
It's not
league.
that. I mean,
So
if people want to say that, people need to realise something, is when people need to use their brains a little bit. Scotland right now is a division where people will go
say,
into and go, I want to have an experiment season. I'm usually a centre-back. I want to play striker. That's what Turk's doing. Turk, on VFL, is known, realistically, his best position and his only position that he should ever play is a DM. He's gash for fucking internationals at attacking mid. Everyone that has seen him at internationals for attacking mid will tell him. Don't care if he cries about it and his ego gets hurt by it. His best position is CDM. Turk is a 9 out of 10 CDM. Turk this season goes to Celtic, goes to Scotland, and decides to play striker. Like, when these people are, the only way it will ever be taken kind of like quote unquote seriously and it will get to the position it needs to be at is when teams end up beating that Celtic team or whatever Celtic team goes in. Like, when that kind of team, which is like capable enough to go into the top kind of 5 divisions in Spain, Italy, Germany, England, France, and pull out a top 4 finish, like, when that kind of team loses the league in Scotland and then they go, oh shit, we actually need to play properly and need to play our actual positions, and then you don't see Turk in striker and you see him back in DM, then everyone will be like, yeah, okay, you've got a claim now. It's now we can put you in stuff like Power 10 or Goals of the Week and stuff. And it's like I said, they were close this season. Aberdeen should feel proud of themselves. Rangers, I think, pretty much in my opinion, lost the league because it just drew too much and it's something for them to build on. Livingston looked like they were going to do it and then they collapsed. So it's like, they're nearly there. And in my opinion, I still think like the Celtic team, player to player wise, this season is better than Isco's Celtic team of last season. But the difference is Celtic's team last season all played properly. Like, you didn't see quality Isco playing left back, you saw him playing cam. And this season, you're seeing better players go into Celtic and kind of play the, switch position card. And that's why they almost got caught. That's why Celtic last season went 22-0 or whatever it was. And this season, why Celtic lost 2 or 3 games and dropped points in terms of draws and stuff. That's just how it went this season. So it was better. It was a lot better. The guys in Celtic, the guys in Scotland should be happy with it. They should be.
So, do we say that
I think
Celtic,
number one, because they're the most reputable
club,
team
no matter
in
what
real
players
life
come in,
and
what team
in
comes
VFL
in,
for Scotland,
they
it's like
set the bar.
They have their own kind of dynasty now, which I think the players are aware of in Celtic, because it's like in the history books of VFL, and I think this was like the 6th season or the 5th. I'm pretty sure it's the 6th season. It's just a guess, but it could be the 6th season. Like, the only team to ever win the league title in Scotland in VFL is Celtic. So, we've never seen Rangers win it. We haven't seen any crazy team win it like Kilmarnock or Motherwell. It's like every single season in Scotland, Celtic are the league champions. So that's the kind of precedent of the team. That's the pedigree of the team. So you'd always have to expect someone that's class is going to get Celtic. Even like back in the day, it's like the magic of Celtic. I remember when we thought Rangers were finally going to do it because Kev Greedy missed and had like a stacked team at Rangers the same season they won the CL, but it's like they lost the league title to a Celtic team that had Hoop Dog in charge. So it's like no one really knows anymore. It's just the fucking magic spells of Celtic at this point. No one really knows.
I'm just looking at the Celtic team. It's not a
that
team.
team categorically, even if they were playing their best positions, would not go into any of the big European 5 and finish first. They would probably finish around fucking 7th in the Prem. They would finish probably around 3rd, maybe 4th in the Bundesliga. Probably finish around 2nd or 3rd in Spain. They'd finish.
How did they get on the CL?
In Italy. They're knocked out. They got fully grouped. They're 4th. They got 4th. They got 4th in the group. They got knocked out in a group which had Middlesbrough, Real, and I forget the other one.
Dijon.
Dijon, thank you. Yeah. They went straight out to that.
Okay, well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess the issue with that is, do we look at to look at any
Well, I
player
mean,
or
in
team
terms of
that
that, like,
goes
I think
to
in the
Celtic as
the two full
maybe
seasons it's been back
the
so
best
far,
of the rest,
or is it
and
three? No, the
compared
full three
to
seasons it's been back so far. Sorry,
um,
it's like
the
that
other top
Aberdeen
teams.
team are always there, like somewhere doing something in terms of chasing or in
Right.
terms of doing well in Europe. So is Livingston. Like Livingston under Spud or under the guys that have it now are doing well, and like those guys, if they stay together, like again, it's like those guys if they stay together. They, and especially Rangers now. Rangers only getting one loss in the league and 6 draws. They convert a couple of those draws into wins, then you never know. But it's like next season is the ideal opportunity to stay there and cash in on it, because Celtic are going to win the league title. They've been blue contracted. They'll be absolutely fucking horrified that they've been blue contracted because they won't want to stay there. So now it's a case where Celtic may not care too much about winning or losing, and next season could be the first time we see Celtic drop the league. So it's like, you know, if Aberdeen stick around, if Rangers stick around, even if teams like Hearts and stick around, because Hearts did well running in towards the end as well. It's like, yeah, it'll be fine.
Hearts,
Like,
I think they qualified in the CL as well, didn't they?
yeah,
went through.
yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
I'm looking
So-
at Livingston and Aberdeen now as well. They're both top their groups. Some all right teams in their groups in the Europa League as well.
Yeah,
That's a
so
good
it's-
showing.
Yeah. That things that won't happen, but it's a nice thought.
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, we could have
Yeah.
an all Scottish quarterfinal. I mean,
Monaco will be up for it. They'll be up for it.
it's possible.
Yeah, they'll have like you
Because
don't
we know
get it done.
Monaco-
It's like when the
Monaco
CL
enjoy
comes around, like
a nice bottle,
these guys
but-
with 11-man connections will just fucking spring up
Yeah.
with like fucking a whole new roster of players. Like it's just it's that's how fucking Rangers won the CL with Mist back in the day. Mist had like an absolute average looking team in Scotland. Then they got to the CL knockouts and he put up a signing for like 7 people that were just all game changers. So it's just like it happens, man. You never know. Monaco, maybe I wouldn't know. Maybe in the last week, maybe 2 weeks, playing with maybe 9 or 10 or 8 or whatever, and you'll see now it's the CL. Boop, they're all gonna pop back up again. I did the same at Barcelona when I went to the final with Barcelona the last time I played, which was the end of 2017. It was like, the last running of Spain. We won Spain. Everyone was happy. We were being, the people had availability issues. And as soon as we got to the CL knockouts, it's like not a single person on my 18-man roster had availability issues and wanted to play the CL. And then we got that shit from Hogan 45 minutes before a game where he's like, yeah, I can't play. And then it's just like, well, it is what it is. But like everyone shows up for the CL. Everyone wants to play in those games. Yeah. Things that are gay for 6,000, please, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of people canceling plans, canceling dates to come.
Indeed.
Let's take a look at the rest of the Europa League. I mean, Leverkusen and Leeds, pretty straightforward.
That's a difficult one.
I was going to say, I
Probably
wasn't surprised that
Leverkusen
Perugia turn up and turn them over.
Yeah,
Yep.
that Perugia team have got people in there that
Middlesbrough against
know
Perugia.
how the guys at Middlesbrough play.
Middlesbrough, most likely.
So that one is really 50-50 for me. I can't call that one.
Chelsea Bordeaux's a good one.
Well,
I reckon they're both on par. If the French turn up, the French should beat them, but
yeah. Well, let's see if fucking, Crep
I mean-
Beret fucking 62 on a fucking second account plays, or if they're actually going to play their actual fucking roster, you know what I mean? But I hope Chelsea win. I pray Chelsea win. Buzz, don't
well,
let
they've had some good results, haven't they, against some big teams? So we'll
Yeah.
see.
We'll see. Yep, probably, but
we've
again, that's a
talked
bit more of a
about
tighter game.
Monaco
Like,
and
it wouldn't
Livingston.
surprise me if, like,
Monaco should probably
after
move
2
on
legs,
there.
that game finishes like 4-3. Like, it'll be a tie
Swallow
one,
and
but I still think
Aberdeen.
Sassuolo will win it.
Swallow, probably. Yeah.
I don't know too much about them too.
I would say
Uh,
Darmstadt. I think Darmstadt
and
had an
all
impressive
German.
campaign in Germany. I think.
round of 16 match here. Werder Bremen
Yeah,
and
I would say
Darmstadt.
Darmstadt. My memory serves me correctly that Darmstadt are at the top 4 or 5, and then Werder Bremen are kind of like lower down. The pressure got to him.
Yeah, Darmstadt, I believe.
It's a tight
finished
one again. You
Fourth.
never
They
know.
were second heading into the weekend, and then kind of fell off. Yeah, Darmstadt 4th, Bremen 8th.
Yeah, you never know.
I've just looked at this FA Cup.
Only 4
Where the
points
fuck are all the big
separated,
names?
Oh, mate,
the two
it's
sides.
been a mad one. The fact that we've got
at least
Man
in
United
the
v
league.
fucking Southend tonight it
So-
just blows my mind.
Fuck me. So you've got Liverpool, Wimbledon,
We'll get some FA Cup. What we got?
That'd be a
Fulham,
tight game.
All right.
Sheffield, United,
like a-
Southend, Chelsea, Barnsley. What the fuck? So who's in the Carabao Cup
Wimbledon.
then?
I think it's like Plymouth v
Fulham,
Southampton,
Sheffield.
Oxford v Man City, Luton v Arsenal, and one I can't remember.
I fancy City to take that.
That's the other one, yeah.
Okay, so
My prediction considers
Yeah,
some
so we've
party the
got
other day in the
Car-
Carabao
we've
Cup
got
final,
Cardiff
the
and
Luton
Villa.
Man City final,
Arsenal and Luton,
and then FA Cup,
Southampton and Plymouth Argyle, and then Oxford. and
Manchester United v Liverpool. Why not?
Are they on opposite sides? Let me have a look.
Yeah, they're on opposite sides.
they
Yeah,
are. That'll be decent.
it'd be nice to have a final that big as well, like rivalry terms in real life. United,
Who
Liverpool.
wins that one?
Not have one of them for a
Yeah.
while. Again, it's like
Yeah.
you never know. Like, but it's too difficult again because both teams, like, when Liverpool threw away the league title, you had Ben in the chat saying
Hot
how
take
like
right
this
now.
is it.
Who-
He's
who
not
wins
playing
that one?
FIFA anymore after this season. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then you got the United guys pretty much saying that they're splitting up. So it's like you never know. Like, you know, United could end up coming out on the 8th of April on Monday with fucking 2 trophies in the FA Cup and CL. Like, it's very possible. And it's the same with Liverpool. Liverpool is still in the mix for both as well. Liverpool could end up winning both. You really don't know. Yep. Exactly.
Is there any point looking at the checker trade? Or should
Yeah,
we
I
fuck
mean,
that off?
No.
I guess it's just a matter of which.
This is
sides to
we
bring up.
investigate
Which
the
team
good
still
cups here,
cares?
Dags. We don't investigate the League 2 cup. Stop that.
Mets Monaco tonight, innit? Oh, that's tasty.
Yeah, that is another big one.
Monaco got a full team on for that as well.
What's
You got a full team on for your game tonight. For whoever the fuck you have, I forget.
We've got Numancia, you know, they've been tearing shit up in the second tier. 17-0.
Dags, just stop trying to.
both
You're not
of their
Conor McGregor. You're not hyping up this fight.
Both
Dags.
of their
Just stop.
strikers have got 300 team of the season.
Just stop.
Wait, I'm telling you now, yeah, I'll tell you right now, we will get turned over. We are the fucking shittest team. We haven't even got our star man, Philly and Butters, so...
This
we're
isn't
bollocks.
Football Manager.
Things you just hate to hear, really. That.
I guess who we have got? We got West, so, you know.
The
Team West
running
and all
chicken nugget. You love to see it. In before he bags 5 tonight, makes you look a right cunt.
that. I fucking hope he does, he owes me.
Unlucky.
I'm flogging him off anyway. He doesn't think I'll sell him to the worst team that comes in. We made a bet. I'm going to sell him to the worst team that comes in. I'm sticking to my word. I'm a man of my word.
Excellent. There's £3.50 in the bank for me. Thank you for the premium purchase, West. Lovely jubbly. Thank you. Tips hat. Oh yeah, there's a big one of it's Schalke Dortmund tonight, isn't it?
There's loads of big games tonight, isn't it? Fuck
Can
me.
we talk about this German Pokal for a second?
Yeah, where the ball
punch him,
went through his
fuck out.
hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can
See
we
him
go
punching his
back
desk?
around? Dortmund and Leverkusen.
Oh, he broke that fucking desk,
Did
didn't
anybody
he?
watch
Jesus Christ.
Joe Boy's stream?
I know, if that ain't passion, that's fucking passion.
Be good to get him back in the CO next year as well. Next season.
Oh yeah, there's
Look at
no
Joe
way
on
there's
stream.
not a hole through that desk. Joe Boy, you're always
Yeah.
a joy to watch. But yeah, Dortmund and Schalke.
I'll go Dortmund. I'm a
tonight.
big fan of Joe. I like Joe.
It's even,
think
but
this one's even.
just for the fucking sake
There's
of
no
argument, I'll say
way.
Schalke.
I can pick a winner between these two.
I don't know much about the other two teams. You'd have to say the winner of this is the eventual winner.
Yeah.
I'm not guessing because I'm not being that guy.
It's a shame, really, because I like a
one way or
tasty
the other.
final.
And then so we.
Then on the other hand, we got the chance of the underdog. So,
Yeah.
You know.
What's what Leipzig and Ingolstadt.
Everyone loves an underdog.
Coppa Italia. Who's in the Coppa Italia? Milan in. That foggy. Where's Fiore? Who knocked Fiorentina down?
Yeah.
Palermo. Palermo.
Yeah, Palermo
AC
first round. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Foggia.
Fuck knows who's going to win that then.
I remember hearing about
I'm rooting
that.
for my
Who
boy
was it?
James F at Napoli. Coy Napoli.
Yeah.
I'd imagine they'd be favourites anyway, wouldn't
Inter Milan and Napoli. Yeah, yeah, I have to say Napoli. I think it would be hard to. Inter Milan could pull it out, maybe. I mean, the winner of that game should win the whole thing.
Valencia to win it all can confirm.
Not a chance.
That.
Not a chance. We'll get beat by Numancia tonight. Do you know what? I'm gonna go Numancia to take the whole thing. I'm buying into the hype of that 17 now.
Jesus Christ.
I'm buying into it. Bought into it.
I would put an Alaves on the other side.
I'm sold. That Deportivo team actually beat Barca when Barca were playing their best 11 as well, and they still turned them over to shit ones.
Again, shout out to Major for the major bottle.
Let's see what Deportivo open up.
Madrid will be favourites, but I'm going Numancia to take the whole thing.
See, they beat Tenerife. Yeah, Alaves beat Barcelona 3-2. Was that one?
They were 2-0 up. Apparently, they started pissing them off because
I just want to see
they
how
were
many
telling me
players
after the game they were
Barcelona
2-0 up,
played
and they started taking the piss. Yeah, they did.
Wow.
They had the strongest team.
It's almost like having a fucking team of French people was just a bad idea.
No, looks like they played with a full team. Wow.
If Conor McGregor's allowed to call Khabib's wife a towel, I'm going to say this: your team's a bunch of frogs, mate.
He took it. Did he take it down straight away?
He took it down. He took it down because he's an absolute fucking heaps of Islamic phobic racism at this fucking stage of time right now. So, you know, good old Conor. That really was the fucking weekly meme.
You're on Saturday, Aaron, yeah?
Right.
Of course, my tux is on.
Yeah.
Yes. Big Vince McMahon. Good, mate, yeah? It's good. There's been a few little changes to it, but yeah, it's very nice.
Basically, Dan, it was really shit, and he changed it all.
Dags, how you like
Basically,
the
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, it's all right. It'll do. It's good.
Cool. I mean, that wouldn't surprise me.
AKA the weekly meme.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. This has not been the weekly meme. This has been the VFL News Podcast.
Gracias.
See you then.
Senor.
Joined by
For another live episode
Aaron
of the
and
weekly meme.
Dagnadino. Gentlemen, thank you very much. And we'll see you guys on Saturday. Some Champions League action. All right, we've stopped. You want to know